we today are going to be learning a square eyelet or an Algerian eye. Most stitches have more than one name, so that's not entirely uncommon. For this one today, in addition to just your straight needle and thread, you're also going to need something, a large needle or a laying tool, or this is called an awl, to make a larger hole in the canvas. So some people will use scissors. I typically don't, because the back side of the scissors blades will sometimes cut through or wear on the canvas threads, and I don't like to take that chance because I do not want to have to repair canvas. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a little hole, a very gentle little hole, just kind of pushing these threads aside. So you're going to make room for your thread, and I'll show you why. So what you're going to do with this one is you're going to start 2 threads below your hole, and you're going to go into the hole, and then you're going to go over to create the corner of your imaginary box, and then go through the hole. Are you sensing a theme? And then you're going to go up 2 and through the hole. Now, if you are finding that you need to enlarge the hole, you always want to pull on the thread on the up and not when it's down below the canvas, because it will not stretch the eyelet out, it will stretch the hole that you're coming up in. Okay, so you're going to go across to do this half of the square, and then the corner, the side, and then the bottom corner. Now the key to the eyelet, that's fairly easy. There's a couple of things you can do. If you didn't make it large enough to begin with, and this hole is now super tiny, you can take your awl and very gently, again, go through and enlarge that hole and make it a decent size hole. You also want to be sure when you go to your next one, if there's more than one together, that the thread in the back doesn't go across this way, because then that fills up the eyelet, or that one of the other one doesn't go, the thread doesn't go across any of the other eyelets that you might be creating. So you want to figure out where your next eyelet is, and this one, if we go to one beside it, is going to be right here. So we're going to put that there, and we're going to do it again, making sure again that the last stitch on the previous eyelet is not running across the eye, and it's not going to be in the way. And then we're going to do another square, pulling gently to keep that eyelet open, keep the tension good across all of the stitches. Okay, and you're going to go around the square just like that. Okay, and around to the finish line here. Okay, so then you might ask yourself, if I want to do another eyelet right below here, how am I going to do that without filling up the hole that should be right here? That is a very good question. So what you're going to do is, I'm going to move the camera here because I have to flip over my canvas. So I'm going to, hold on one sec. What you're going to do is you're going to flip the canvas, and you're going to bury the needle behind the stitches so that you change the position of where this thread is coming from. So if I run it across a few of these, and so now instead of coming from here and going straight down, when I pull it to come down, it's going to be out of the way. See that? So if I reload my canvas back here, all right, and we go back. If we want to make an eyelet just below here, the eyelet hole will be here. Now when I start this, when I start this, see how the thread is running behind at a bit of a diagonal? and it'll get hidden by the stitches as I make the eyelet this time. So it won't run across the hole, the eyelet hole, so that we can't see it. You always have to remember to be mindful of that when you're doing eyelets, so that you can properly hide your background thread. Okay, and so we're going to go around the square like that, just like that. Okay, so again, if I go over to here, I'm going to make that eyelet look a little weird. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to manipulate where that thread is going to go back behind, and I'm going to bury that thread back behind so that it comes from a different direction. So when I open my eyelet right here and I start again, it's not running, it's not pulling it to the side, and it's not running into the eyelets. So this is one stitch that you have to be very aware of what's happening behind the canvas as much as you are in front of the canvas. So you may notice that the first two that we stitched, the eyelet has, the threads stretch a bit, and they'll try to move back where they want, especially when you're pulling at them from the other directions now. You know, we've done these two side by side. We've kind of readjusted the tension. So you can go back with the awl again and just gently poke it in there, give it a little twist, and it'll standardize the size of it for you again. Open that back up and keep it opened up. And that is how you do the square eyelet, also known as the Algerian eye. Have a good time.